Which sponsored brand ad won the A/B test? The original champion or the challenger, based on advice from sales guru Alex Hormozi and rapper Eminem? At stake is our ability to keep advertising on competitive keywords where our clients' products get low conversion rates. What happens if you don't get sales for a week or two? Is that normal statistical variation, like getting several tails when you flip a coin, and so you should just wait it out? Is that a sign that the ad is no longer performing well and you need to lower the bids or even pause the keyword entirely? Watch this video to find out what happened across 3 A/B tests that we ran based on Alex's advice and to see what that means for our clients' sales. There are also a couple of tips from Alex on making video that are applied in this video itself. So if you're a fan of his, why don't you try to figure out which of those tips are being used and comment them in the section below. And there's also some tips for those of you who are doing premium products, right? Selling above the average market price. So if that's you, stay tuned because this is going to be especially relevant and you might get some really useful info for your ads. Alex Hormozi is a popular guru on YouTube, teaching millions of followers about marketing and sales and building a business generating over $250 million in sales per year. One of Alex's most interesting pieces of sales advice is a sales closing technique he got from Eminem, the rapper.
I learned this tactic from Eminem that he used in rap, but actually makes sales way more effective. He always used to talk about owning all the negatives. You want to say every negative thing you possibly can about yourself so no one else can. But as salesmen, you can actually stack the deck in your favor using all the negative and then reversing it into positive. Here's how it works. It's all around the word but. Normally, if you've ever heard people who are like, oh, he's saying something good, where's the but? Because everyone is trained to emphasize what happens after the word but. But when you're persuading, what you can do is rather than say good thing but bad thing, you flip it. So you say all the bad stuff. Our program's really long, it's very difficult, it's complex, but it works better than anything else you've ever tried. The second half of the sentence becomes magnified because of the damaging admissions that but amplified.
Hormozi swears that this works. So my team and I tested his advice. We wrote up different headlines for our client's product. The headlines admit weaknesses of the product as a basis to make the product's strengths known and credible. I can't disclose our client's product, but the main selling point is usually that it's beautiful. The disadvantages are that it's a bit hard to assemble and it's expensive. We tried to also argue that friends envying you might be a disadvantage. Now, what was our starting point that the new ad had to beat? The long-running original ad in this PPC campaign got a 3.18% conversion rate on over 2,000 clicks and an average order value over $140. Lifetime advertising cost of sale was just under 19%. The original headline was straight to the point. Get compliments, product X for use case Y. So how could we use Alex's tactic to beat the champion? Our first Hormozi headline was, warning, friends may envy your beautiful product. Obviously product was substituted for the actual keyword. How did it do? Conversion rate was 3.61%, which is better than the original, but the average order value was about $20 less than the original. More importantly, the click-through rate on viewable impressions was under 0.5% versus the original ad's 1.95%, i.e. about a quarter of the original click-through rate. That caused Amazon to charge us 20% more per click, so we had to cut this short. It's possible that if we let it run longer, we'd have found out that the conversion rate was higher, but the test was too costly and not promising enough to keep running. So what if it failed because we didn't use the word but, which emphasizes what you say afterwards? That's why our second Hormozi headline was, takes time to build, but beautiful product is worth it. This time, the click-through rate was somewhat better, about 0.72%. Still a far cry from the original 1.9%, but the cost per click was just a penny more than the original. Unfortunately, the conversion rate still didn't work. We got 2 orders on 110 clicks. Goodbye, challenger number 2. We wanted to give this one more go. Why aren't people buying this, we thought? The main product featured in our ad is over $200, while the category has products selling for as cheap as $19.99, with most of the best sellers in the category around $30 to $45. Some closer competitors cost around $90 or $100, but we're still way more expensive. So how do you turn expensive into a benefit? Our third Hormozi headline was, product's expensive, but that is why it's exclusive. What do you think happened next? Well, the click-through rate was still weak, 0.73%, but the conversion rate killed it. As of the time of writing this script, we've got just under 5% conversion rate on nearly 300 clicks. Plus, the average order value is about $5 higher than original. And the end result is that our ACoS is under 15%. I'll just open a quick little parenthesis. If you're wondering how can it be that we're advertising the same product and getting different average order values, the answer is because with sponsored brand ads, you're advertising more than one product. And in addition to the three products shown in your ad, there's also additional products on the landing page. So you might advertise A and sell B, and that's how you get different average order values from one ad to the next, even if we're featuring exactly the same thing in the ad. I want to share that we've since been able to double down on this headline with other products of ours that are more expensive than their market, approximately $80 to $100 a piece, whereas the competitors are about $20 a piece. So we're like 4 to 5 times higher than the average, and it's allowing us to sell these successfully. So you literally can just basically copy this headline style and try to apply it in your own market if you're in a premium positioning. And I want to encourage you guys also to learn more from Alex. I also bought his previous 2 books, $100 million Leads and $100 million Offers, learned a lot from them. He's got a book which I've pre-ordered myself called $100 Billion Money Models, and he's doing a huge pre-launch event. So you can register for that. There's all kinds of free bonuses for people who sign up, even without spending anything. You can get a link to sign up for that in the description below. And what you would learn in the book is how to make a sequence of offers that gets you as much cash as possible, as quickly as possible, so that you can scale your acquisition. At the pre-launch event, he's bringing 5 speakers to be guests, including a few billionaires and people who've built their businesses essentially doing this kind of thing, including one guy who beat venture-backed competitors by outspending them. Why? Because he had a better money model. So I know I'm learning a lot. You can see that this stuff he's teaching is helping to scale our ads for clients. So I encourage you to check that out. But I want to get back to talking about what are the takeaways from this series of A/B tests that we ran using Alex's ideas and his advice based on M&M's self-deprecating shopping style. What are the takeaways from this series of A/B tests? While it's very powerful, the Hormozi M&M close is not a guaranteed win. You need to play around with the copy to make it fit the format Alex gave and the character and limits in Amazon ads. And you need to test turning different weaknesses into a strength. Maybe the weakness you think is bothering people is not so important, and what they care about is really a different weakness. But there's obviously some great potential, and that's why we're already running our next test on this campaign. It features another Hormozi headline. Subscribe to the channel to find out what happens.